It's a great day for some Blood Bowl. Here we are, round 2, season 65. My Orcs, Wäŋa Warriors are playing Faulcon, Slumbering, Skink. Bit of rivals, mostly because I've been talking some smack. Let's see if I can back it up. Most important player for my side is Strength 4, Agility 4, Block, Dodge, Sure Hands, Ubir. I've also got an Agility 4 Blitzer here, as well as a Mighty Blow, Tackle, Diving Tackle, Stand Firm, Skink Smasher there. I've got heaps and heaps of guard. All of my Black Orcs have skills. I've got block, and yeah, look, I'm relatively confident taking on his lizards, as he's got a couple without any skills, one with just block. He has some good Sauruses too, but most of his TV's tied up in his sidestep, diving, tackle, skinks, which isn't ideal for a lizardman coach, and starting for him is an agility 4 skink, you know, leap, sure feet, sidestep, sprint, all the sort of things. So the first thing that happens is that I roll a blitz. So I'm stoked. Now I can't get to the ball, so I decide to go head on with him. I'm relatively confident that I can outstrength him because of all my guard, and because of this blitz where I can get someone down. And so I set up here trying to go toe to toe with him. And yeah, look, I know at the very least he's going to spend a few turns getting on top of me. He'll get some 2-die blocks, but if they don't all come off, then he's going to be in trouble. And even then, with all my guard, he's going to have to run around it. So, look, he starts laying people out. He's forced to go backwards. He's forced to make a 1-die block, which comes off. And then his Croxagore is about to biff my troll. 1-die block comes off and knocks him out. So things really haven't gone very well here. I'm now, just with that troll being out, I'm now going to have a bit of trouble out-strengthening him. Nevertheless, I still kind of back myself here due to my guard. First thing I do is roll a double skulls, use a reroll to get that Saurus down. And the second block that I make with 2 dice is, of course, a double skulls. And things are looking pretty bad for me. Once again, to get a chance to lay me down, which it does. And, you know, I've really lost control of the center here, which is what I needed to be able to put pressure on these skinks. If you haven't seen the latest thing in the forums, this is great kind of luck calculator, to which I've used. And I did feel like he was got pretty lucky in his blocking this game. And I had a look at the numbers, and I threw 54 blocks, he threw 56. Both of us 75% nearly exactly for 2 dice we choose, and 18% of mine were 1-die blocks and 14% of his were 1-die blocks, so really similar amounts thrown. 65% of his blocks were successful, and 38% of mine were successful. So given that I probably had more block, that was, they're the telling numbers, 65% versus 38%, and I feel like most likely, not that I'm going to be bothered counting, most of it was in this little starting patch here, you know. Fortunately, his armor rolls were normal, his injury rolls were normal, so he wasn't killing people, he wasn't doing too much damage, but he gets on top of it and runs the ball up. Now, I do my best here to, you know, your numbers are going to turn eventually. You can't assume you're having a bad game. And I managed to get a good player marking the ball. This forces him backwards, as he can't get both of them away. So once again, I'm just kind of hitting, waiting for these numbers to turn, and I've got a chance to get my tackle stand firmer on the ball. However, I snake a 2+ dodge roll and fall down. And from here, especially seeing as I didn't stand some people up, well, actually I think one of them might have been stunned, it's going to be fairly difficult. And he's once again cracking my armor, but he is throwing a lot of blocks at this stage, so you couldn't complain about the armor. It was just those initial onslaught of 2-die blocks, you know, were coming off, and more to the point, mine that weren't. So at this point in time, you can see with this half that I'm not going to stop him scoring. The best I can do is try to win the blocking battle with the players remaining. Fortunately, I got 2 reserves, so with 2 sets of KO rolls, I'm relatively confident starting with 11. As I only need 2 players to come back out of a possible 6 KO rolls. So, well, everyone gets 2 each, put it that way. And, yep, he scores as suspected. And, you know, I get everyone back. I don't get the troll back, which means I can't try for the 1-turn touchdown. And I do manage to badly hurt one of his Sauruses, which is good for starting the next half. It does mean he's going to have an extra skink on the field. So off we go. His kick's really annoying because I have to go for it to pick it up. And I actually decided to use my Goblin. It was a bit of a risk rather than my Strength 4 Agility 4 ball carrier, but I just felt that I really wanted to outstrength him, and I really needed that extra person throwing blocks because instead of having a Goblin protecting the ball or trying to block people, I now have a Strength 4, block dodger doing these things. So that was my my plan, and he puts pressure on the ball carrier fairly much straight away, and that causes me to change my mind. I think he gets another player off, and once again I'm just looking at it thinking, my dice aren't great, and I really need this score, so that's what I decide is to hand it off and push hard down the wide zone, as I kind of felt like he was a little out of position here. Mind you, with movement 8 Skinks, it's very hard to be actually out of position because you can run anywhere you need to go. Nevertheless, I just need to get that Skink down. I try 2 dice with a reroll. I have block and tackle, and still can't get him down. And then he manages to, I can't protect the ball carrier that well, but nevertheless, he hits my Skink killer, crusher, blitzer, and barely hurts him. And from this point on, I hate complaining about dice, but I wrote that it was frustrating. And from then on, it was fairly even. So lesson to be learned, always complain about your dice. Apparently that makes a difference. But no, from here on out, it was all very even. And, I roll these 1 dice blocks. I can't get him down. Nevertheless, I do manage to get this Skink down, and make a couple of 2+ dodge rolls, which allows me to really, look likely that I'm going to score. Of course, he's movement 8, and he's got heaps of sidestep and diving tackle, so he's going to put pressure on me, and that unless I really outcoach him, I'm going to have to make a dodge roll against that diving tackle. Faulcon, he's too good to fall for something like that. He's certainly going to make me do that dodge roll. I hope I'm not giving away spoilers, but that's what happens. Now here, like I said, he doesn't really make bad calls, but this is perhaps a judgment call that didn't come off. He had an agility 4, sidestep diving tackler here, and he really needs to plug this hole. This is obviously my way out, since he's got here covered with 2 sidestep diving tacklers. I can't go forward, I have to go backwards. Now he doesn't want his agility 4 super important Skink to be the target of a blitz, so he uses an agility 3 Skink to do it, and he rolls twin 2s. Now that allows me to do a 1 die block. All I need is a pushback to have a shot, and getting someone down really helped me a lot. I managed to get both down. However, on the reroll, I get him down, and then I'm forced to make a 4+ with a reroll roll. I suppose that's a 75% chance of scoring, but who likes to make those sort of rolls? Nevertheless, I roll 6, and I've scored, and he has 3 turns. Now, 3 turns against a Skink like that is a bit of a pain. 2 turns, you really back yourself. 3 turns, it is going to be hard to stop an agility 4 Skink. Leap is a key factor here because he can just jump over things that he doesn't like, and any dodge rolls, of course, a 2+ with a reroll. So the best thing you can do is kind of stack things in front of him, but leap makes it really difficult. He gets a high kick, which of course helps him out. He catches the ball and he's able to go, where he wants. So he tries to push me back here. He doesn't do a bad job, getting me back, and can't get that Goblin down. And he first turn, he hasn't pushed me up too much, so I keep my wrestler, tackler here, and my tackle block here. I want to make sure I can get one of them near the ball, and he decides to run up the zone here. Now, he gets my troll down. I really want that troll to be able to stand up because that's going to make a difference to the middle thing. And he tries to put some protection here. He obviously wants to run that Skink up the flank. So I can't get that troll up. Nevertheless, I can run a Garter in here to give me a good assist. Now, I could technically chain push this Black Hawk there, but that's going to give him a 2 dice he chooses without moving anyone, and I just think it's going to be too easy for him. So rather than that, I try to crowd him out of this flank, and I do that by chain pushing his own players in front of it. Now I can't get, I could have got that Skink down, but I didn't want to get him both down. I needed that Black Hawk there. Otherwise, he could simply leap, make a bunch of 2+s, and that'd be that. And not only that, he could easily blitz that. So this is my defense. Now, I wanted to move someone here and someone here. I thought that 4+ with a reroll and a go for it might be unlikely. Nevertheless, as long as he was there, it was going to make it harder for him, at least contributing to a tackle, an extra dodge roll or two he would have to make. However, I snaked that roll, and so in the end, all he's got to do is a leap and a hold plunge of 2+. Go for it. So I think that's an 80% chance of scoring, so I'm crossing everything that I possibly can that it's going to fail. Nevertheless, he makes the leap and, rolls heaps of 4s and 5s. Can't do anything about it. A 2-1 win to him. And it was a good game. And remember, guard conquers all. Just maybe not today.